sometimes you get like the kids, I always tell them, like, you have any issues, and the parents too, right? Not just you're on the ice, tell you how to do it. Like, if you have questions and whatever, call me. I'll help you navigate through it. The hard part is it's being honest and telling them the truth that without saying, no, it's just a bunch of garbage. And that's what happens a lot of the time. So I had 4-5 different calls in a span of a week from local players. So I'm going to just say something very clearly. Locally, it's impossible, unless, not impossible, but highly, highly, highly unlikely that there's 4 kids at any age that need representation at 14, 15 years old. Good representation. Highly, 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 highly unlikely. Okay? So I got 4 or 5 that week. So what happened is people would go get their skates sharpened or went to the sports shop, and there's a guy who wants to be in hockey who's like bird dogging for a guy who wants to be an agent. So he's telling these kids, hey, you should go meet this guy. He's great, got this thing, great agent, he can represent you, get you going, and get you somewhere. So the parents or a kid would call me and say, hey, talk to him. I said, who are you talking about? I said, I've never heard his name, but I'm going to do my due diligence and say, I'm going to make 1 or 2 phone calls. I already know the answer, but I can't just sit there and say, no, he's shit.
Yeah, you got to check.
So I checked through Ian and a couple of OHL sources, and they said, yeah, I never heard of him. So it's like, so I talked to the kids, and I'm like, okay, look, a lot of people try to use you and abuse you and blah, 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 blah. I said, you ask questions, you can listen to people all you want, but the reality is you're probably not going to find your agent going to get a pair of skates.
Yeah.
Not 5 in a week.
Yeah.
There's probably some weird stuff going on there, right? And then part of that is what I'll talk about is what agents don't do. Okay? Mm-hmm. Agents, this is what I didn't want for my son, or I really for anyone. Said, what do I not want an agent do for my son or my family or when I played is I don't want to be a promoter of my son in the terms of look how great he is in hockey. Yeah. Okay? Because to me, the way you promote yourself in hockey is be the best person on the ice. That's the only thing that speaks.
Yep.
So if someone has to tell people you got to watch him, he's the best. Like, look, see how he does a crossover? Amazing, isn't it? No, it's not, actually. Yeah. He every game, that's how you promote yourself. So I don't need someone to go and say, yeah, this guy's the best, he's the best. Because now you're actually bugging people. Mm-hmm. Cool. If I'm a scout or a GM, I'm going to notice who I like myself. I don't need you to tell me, Mr. Agent guy. I don't need to tell him how to play hockey. We talked about that. Don't tell my son how to play hockey or where he should train, how he should train. Yeah. You can always get the message that, like, so with Ian, he uses some of his clients to explain to Charlie what they do, which I like. It's always, he sends a message, always work hard. So he'll say, like, Tyler Seguin, he does this. You should maybe take a look at doing that. But he would never tell us how to play hockey or how to train because he doesn't know. Mm-hmm. Right? He does the business side. I'll take care, and the coach will take care of the playing side. I don't want him to tell my son how great he is, because that's just fluff. You actually don't even know how great he is. You'll know how great he is by getting a contract offer. You have no idea how great my son is. I don't need him to get connections. There's you're going to make it by being a good hockey player. I mean, but through his business, yes, he's going to talk to teams, and that at that point, when teams talk to him, of course, he's going to say the right things or the good things or whatever. And he's not responsible for my son's success. A lot of people say, well, was it my agent? No, it wasn't your agent. Your agent doesn't play hockey. Your agent takes your contract, builds the contract. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else he's responsible for. And we want him to be real. Tell him how hard it is every day. So if you can do that, I'm happy.
Yeah. So the first thing, when you're saying how he doesn't tell Charlie how to play hockey,
right? And
this is right. It's like we pointed out, like, your job is to worry about the business, the contracts, the papers, the making sure the circumstances are as optimal as possible for the client that you're representing. That's your job. You worry about that. Yeah. We'll worry about hockey. That's first. So especially when you're young, like when they get more into like all this stuff, at least for me right now, like it's all under the guise of, like, we're talking about young kids getting agents. Like that is the context. It's not for professionals where like you're going to touch on later. and agents have more influence and play a bigger role in certain ways and whatever at the professional level, which you'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you worry about the business. We play hockey. Like, we'll do the hockey part. That's the first thing. And then the second thing that I wanted to clarify too, and I like the way you worded it, because when we talked about it earlier, I threw you some pushback about the promotion part of it. And I know you're gonna get into what other people expect sometimes of agents, but you do get that bit of indirect promotion because, like you said, the agent is talking to teams and they're hearing your name and that kind of stuff. So you do get indirect promotion, but the point is not the promotion. Like, you didn't get an agent so that he would promote you.
That's right.
That is not the point.
Yeah.
You get indirect promotion because he's talking about your kid, and his name is thrown around more than it would be without an agent. So if you want to call that promoting, that could be a form of promoting.
Yeah.
But it isn't, I'm calling and saying, hey, you need to watch him because he's really good, or you have to have this kid on your team because he's the best at this, this, and this. Like, that is not his point. It's, you guys have identified him as being a really good player. I represent him. Let's talk about what he deserves as a player. Yeah. It's not, hey, I'm going to chase you down to make you watch this kid to offer him something to get him somewhere. Like, that's what the difference is when we talk 100%. About the promoting thing.
Yeah, so like if Steve Stayhouse from Hamilton Bulldogs happens to be, like, he might call Charlie's agent and say, who are you representing this year, Ian? And I got this guy, and if he doesn't have anyone else. His guys that work for him have a couple. But I got this guy. Oh, okay. Well, tell me about the kid. Well, he's not going to sit there. Well, the kid's an asshole. I don't like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty shitty at hockey, but I represent him anyways. Like, that's not what he's going to say. He's going to say, tell him all the good things, right? Because it's, first date. Tell everybody how great you are.
Yeah.
Vice versa, he might if someone's interested in him, he's going to tell him all the good stuff, like and tell him why he's a good kid and all that kind of stuff. But so that would be the promotion. That'd be the extent of it.
Well, and just another point on that, they're calling an agent that's reputable and has had clients in the past, and they have
worked with people represented before.
That's why
success.
And that's why he would be getting that call in the first, like Ian would be getting that call in the first place.
That's right.
Because whatever team knows, like, he's a reliable source that has produced players, so I'm going to call him and ask him.
That's right.
But if you have Joe Nobody agent, like, nobody's calling him.
No.
So he has to go call people. Like, he's got to go be a pain in the ass trying to, and most of them won't even do that because they don't have the connections to be able to do that anyways.
That's right.
But no one is calling that guy to ask. So that promotion that anyone would get, if they have an agent that is reputable and high end, they wouldn't need that promotion anyways because they're already a top prospect.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter. They would have already found that kid. They would have already had him on the radar. And now they're just...
But where it could get a little bit beneficial is if you have kid A, B, and C, and they're asking about your player, and it's like really toss up, equally they're good in hockey, and all of a sudden the guy goes, listen, like for Charlie, I just have to say it. I could use someone else, but I'm just giving a real story. Well, I'll send you a video of his working out. He works out at the gym. I can send you a video working the way you work him out. That's impressive. Comes from the genetics or the background that he comes from. Like that, that might raise someone a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't do it, but he might say that, or maybe they didn't know. They were really. Oh yeah, he's grown up with all these guys. Oh, that raises a kid's stock. That's promotion, but it's just being honest.
Yeah.
Or, some other kid. He's a really good kid. Well, why is he good? The kid on his own. He started every Christmas. This kid, in wherever he's from, he started a thing where he gets gloves and mitts for poor people. He does it on his own. That's the lead. Oh, okay, that's neat. So you could do things to separate.
Well, and then that is what the point is, though. It's a separator. It's not the thing that's getting you noticed in the first place.
Right.
And that is what people think is the case. So it's like, I know it can get like kind of fuzzy how we're talking about it, but it's like, you're already really good. You're already a top tier talent. An agent comes to you because you're already really good. Yeah. And you're already going to get those opportunities. So the agents are trying to jump on you early because the contract that might come later is what they're after. Yeah. So if you have player A, B, and C that are all about equal, they're already all awesome players. So the agent might just say, hey, yeah, this kid's good at this, this, and this. And this other kid's agent's going to say, well, he's good at this, this, and this. Yeah. And then that team goes, oh, we like this better. Yeah. Boom. But it's not the difference between somebody noticing you or not, or like you getting drafted or not, or like that's not how it works, right?
If people think that